Republic credits are no good out here. I need something more real.
I don't have anything else, but credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't. What, you think you're some kind of Jedi waving your hand around like that? I'm a Toydarian. My tricks don't work on me.
Before we begin, I'm going to tell you that there are spoilers in this review. If you don't want to know about them, then stop now, close this video, or just power down your TV or computer, or however you are watching it. And also, I'm going to give my honest opinion on the film and the Jurassic franchise. So if you don't like what I have to say, then don't watch, because I truly feel we need to see more honest reviews from fans and reviewers that watch these films, or films in general. So, if you want to go watch it, then go watch it. I'm not telling you not to. I will debate with whoever wants to in the comments, but don't complain just to complain. If you don't like the new movie or my review, bring a valid point to the table. Let's discuss it. Okay, we can begin. When the announcement came out that Universal Pictures would be releasing another installment of the Jurassic Park series, I wasn't that overly excited when I was like, okay, another Jurassic Park film. Here we go again with Chris Pratt and his oh-so-talented self with taming dinosaurs. But then I was intrigued that Sam Neill and Laura Dern would be appearing in the new film. I was like, okay, maybe this might be a decent picture, I asked myself. How would these two be introduced? How will they play a part in the new Jurassic Park franchise? Will they give an outstanding performance? Will those questions be answered? With those questions on my mind, I knew I had to go back and rewatch the first Jurassic Park. When Jurassic Park was released in 1993, it was a movie that had never been done before. Sure, there were 50s and 60s sci-fi pictures that showed dinosaurs in their films battling spacemen on other planets, but nothing imagined like the new dinosaur adventure Universal and Steven Spielberg were about to release on the world. This new concept, and with the state-of-the-art CGI software being used at that time, it was going to revolutionize how pictures were being made, especially with director Steven Spielberg. Spielberg's talents were met with such force that Steven himself has been constantly chasing that picture's success ever since it was shown in the franchise and in the theaters back then. Steven is a great director and one of the best directors of the 20th century, but Steven outdid himself by far. And also, outside of his film history, especially with his box office hit, in my opinion, truly has never achieved any further success as a picture. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, that's not right. He did Jaws. He did E.T., Close Encounters. What about those films? And you're correct. Those were big box office hit movies. But Jurassic Park was his climactic movie of his career, at least up to this point. But let me pause there for a minute. This review isn't about the success of Steven. It's about the success of Jurassic Park and how Hollywood is ruining classics. We know we would already see the returning cast again, consisting of Jeff Goldblum, Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and some new faces like DeWanda Wise, Isabel Sermon, and Campbell Scott as our new Jurassic Park villain. We also got some new dinosaurs, like the Atrocyceratops, and the Dreadnoughts, and the Gigantosaurus, just to name a few. Don't worry, Universal didn't leave us hanging. Your original Velociraptors were back, along with Blue and her offspring now, as well as your fun-loving, spitting venom dinosaur, the Dilophosaurus or whatever. So, this time around, the story clearly takes place after Fallen Kingdom and set 4 years later, We see dinosaurs roaming the world, making daily news, and even causing controversy in today's society. The film character development doesn't take long and basically gets right down to the point. There is some jumping around to tie the beginning of the storyline together. Then, like clockwork, we see how Chris Pratt and Dallas Howard have been in society and the world today. Post the volcanic eruption from Fallen Kingdom, and now protecting a former scientist's daughter played by Isabel Sermon from the new villain of Jurassic Park and the overly funded psychopath organization Biosyn. A relatable possibility of a real-world crisis in today's time is also introduced with a larger-than-life locusts that have been released on the worldwide agriculture system and farmers causing concern for humanity. Then, the picture introduces us to Sam Neill again, along with Laura Dern. Laura pursues Sam and convinces him that she needs him to help her with a very big problem. She needs him to come along, and yes, there is sexual tension immediately noticeable when seeing each other again for the first time in over 20 years. And as how the film would set up the rest of the movie, Chris and Bryce's kid is quickly kidnapped, and now the hunt and rescue is on to locate her by traveling across the globe. But finding her is no easy task, and it will be tricky, yet daunting, and a challenging adventure in doing so. Along the way, we are introduced to many climactic scenes with thrills, spills, and action, and horrible acting performances from pretty much the whole cast. Then in the nick of time, our heroes get away, and our psychopath villain meets his fate the same way actor Dennis Nerdy, or as most of you know him as, Newman from the 90s sitcom Seinfeld did. And what Jurassic Park movie wouldn't be complete without an overplayed, done numerous times throughout the franchise, a scene of the most dangerous dinosaurs fighting to the death, and then roll-ending movie credits. Yep, that about sums it up. Well, kind of. Now let me give you my 2 cents on the whole deal. Once again, Universal and the writers have given us a repeated story, which seems to be the norm now with Hollywood. Yes, it's a new story for the picture, but it's the same script of all the Jurassic Park movies, wrapped up all into one. Just like they did when they did Fallen Kingdom, and the other one before that, and the other one before that, and the other one before that. I mean, heck, all the way back to the original. The lack of creativity in the script writing of this movie shows time and time again throughout the whole movie. From the scenes of Chris Pratt wrangling dinosaurs in the Sierra Nevada mountains to the political driving points that are relatable to our world today, with scenes of focus on our college youth and how you are the ones that will challenge and change the world to the political-driven divide of humanity against one another. With why Hollywood feels they need to use movies as their motivation to spread the word of realistic comparisons on what is going on in the world today just doesn't make sense. I call it just easy, impressionable writing and lack of creativity clearly that shines through pictures like this and pictures of them all. What happened to the days of writing that thought outside the box, that brought new ideas and thinking to the story and the screen? What happened to writing that presented you a cast of characters that either you can relate to or aspire to be like? Or movies that took you on an adventure for 90 to 120 minutes and left you wondering, what would it be like if I were in that situation? Or hell, even wanting to be in that situation? Unfortunately, the reality of the golden age of film making have perished. The days of true silver screen, big box office hits, movies that thrilled you and not overly CGI'd are long gone now. And Hollywood has no plans or desire to look back at what it took to make iconic pictures that way, with elaborate sets and original storytelling and writing. Hollywood does, though, repeat itself by taking classics like Blade Runner, Clash of the Titans, and Planet of the Apes and revamps them only to fail miserably. Hollywood's lack of writing talent is so noticeable in film and TV that it is so easy to turn out a script, and I mean any script. If the big studio doesn't pick it up, then filmmakers go straight to internet distributors like Netflix or Amazon Prime for straight to platform service backing and distribution just to put their work out. Just because I leave behind a nice turd in the toilet doesn't mean I have to share it with the world, which basically means you can write anything, horrible or not, and submit it to one of these companies with or without a script manager or agent, and you have a better chance at one of these companies picking up your idea than the reality of dinosaurs returning to Earth or my turd making it into the movie. And that's not good, folks. That's bad, because it shows the laziness and lack of creativity with films like this. Now, I know this franchise has been around for a long time, and it's not like it was just whipped up in a roundtable discussion yesterday, but the story has been done with all the other films, just rearranged to fit the new concept. And unfortunately, it shows in this new film. Original, iconic, singular films should be done once, not revisited time after time to be bled to the point that you have no creativity left in your God-forsaken soul, that you are willing to just bleed it further in hopes that you will hit a home run at some point. This does no justice to the original or the brand and only leaves the fans walking out of the film disappointed as usual. Let classics be classics, like Lawrence of Arabia. Can you imagine if Hollywood tried to do Lawrence of Arabia today? How would they do it? Would they do it with the fashion of High School Musical, or would it be a political hidden agenda somewhere in the film? Ugh! Could you imagine? Don't get me wrong. The actor choices in this film were accurately okay and needable for this film, and basically the majority of the original cast, minus the kids, Newman, Samuel L. Jackson, and all the other ones that are too much to mention, or I really don't want to have to mention, because one, they are either not worthy of notating, or I really just don't care that they were or were not in the film. The movie could have easily been shortened if we didn't have to watch Chris Pratt constantly Jedi mind trick and hand wrangle the dinosaurs with every encounter he had. They probably could have shaved off about 10 minutes. Seriously. Jurassic Park Dominion is a perfect example of a film that should have been just left at the original Jurassic Park. There was no reason to continue on. I would have rather been left with the wondering what happened to the dinosaurs on the island than needing to know they were trapped and brought back into civilization. Hollywood, leave classics classics. We don't need a bazillion spin-off of motion pictures and stories that are redone over and over. Look to the fans. Listen to what the fans are saying. Listen to what the fans are doing. Look at your indie filmmakers. What used to be an oddity now seems to be the best way of filmmaking and the norm. At least their films are original, and worth watching.